I wasn't supposed to hear anything. The anesthesia should have kept me swallowed in silence. But somewhere between sedation and waking, I floated. My body was still, my mind sharp. And then I heard his voice, my husband. "She'll be out for hours," he whispered. The words slithered into me like poison. Another voice followed, her voice, high, breathy, nervous. His pregnant girlfriend. And then the final strike, his mother. "Maybe she'll die and solve our problem." The way she said it, like she was hoping, like she was praying for it. I didn't move, I didn't breathe, but inside, a storm tore me apart. We met 12 years ago at a Christmas party. He was charming, magnetic, full of ambition. I was young, blinded by his certainty. He told me I steadied him, that I was his anchor. Back then, I believed it. I believed every promise, every vow. For years, I carried him, through late nights, missed payments, his failed ventures. I was there, paying bills, cooking dinners, cleaning blood off the bathroom sink after one of his drunken rages. He always apologized after, always swore I was everything to him. And I wanted to believe love was enough, but love doesn't erase the truth. The truth hides in shadows, in little mistakes, in whispers left behind. I noticed first with the perfume, not mine, a trace on his shirt. Then the missed calls, always from unknown. The way he locked his phone the moment I walked into a room. And then the message I wasn't meant to see. "The baby's kicking, wish you were here." I remember staring at the screen, numb, my pulse steady, no tears, no rage, just clarity. That's when my love for him died. The surgery came weeks later, a routine procedure, nothing life-threatening. But lying there, drifting between worlds, I realized fate had handed me something rare, proof, unfiltered, raw. They had outed themselves, and I was awake for it. When I finally woke up, I kept my eyes closed longer than I should have. I let the nurses whisper, let them trade glances. They had heard too, and unlike my husband, they had hearts. By the time I opened my eyes, the plan was already forming. I didn't scream, I didn't confront him. That's what he expected. Drama, tears, weakness. Instead, I smiled at him, kissed his cheek, thanked his mother for visiting. I even asked the girlfriend if she was eating enough. The act was flawless. Behind the curtain, I was moving quietly, strategically. The nurses helped. They had seen enough affairs, enough betrayals to know which side justice lived on. Every phone call my husband made from that room, recorded. Every cruel word from his mother, noted. Every visit from the girlfriend, her hand cradling her belly like a trophy, documented. By the time I was discharged, I had a file, thick, unshakable. I waited. 2 months, long enough for them to feel safe, to let their guard down. He served me divorce papers with a smirk. His mother gloated, saying I was finally out of their way. The girlfriend stood there, swollen, smug. And I signed, without hesitation, without fight. Because fighting in that moment wasn't strategy. Revenge was patience. The court date came. He expected a swift victory, division of assets in his favor, custody of nothing because we never had children. His new family, his shiny future, secured. But when my lawyer stood and handed the judge the file, I watched his smirk fade. The recordings played, his voice, her voice, his mother's voice, hoping I would die. The judge's face hardened with every word. The photographs surfaced, him sneaking her into my hospital room, violating hospital policy, violating me. The medical staff testified, calm, professional, brutal. And the piece de resistance, the clause in our prenup that he forgot I wrote myself. Infidelity voided every right he had to my money, my assets, my home. The empire he thought he was stealing slipped through his fingers in minutes. The judge ruled in my favor. Assets, mine. Alimony, from him. his reputation publicly shredded. The girlfriend's face twisted when she realized what she'd signed up for. No mansion, no power, just a broken man now unemployed, his company severing ties to protect their image. And his mother, reduced to a whisper in the back row, pale, silent, humiliated. I walked out of that courtroom taller than I'd ever stood. My pulse was calm, my hands steady. Justice didn't come from screaming. It came from silence, from patience, from letting them believe I was weak while I sharpened the knife behind my back. That night, I slept peacefully, for the first time in years. I often replay the moment in the hospital, their voices echoing over me, thinking I was gone, and I smile, because that moment was their undoing. They wished for my death. Instead, I buried them alive, in truth, in shame, in the ruins of their own arrogance. And that's the thing about betrayal. It doesn't break me anymore. It fuels me. Because while